So you've decided to go with the slightly cheaper brand of Outemu switches, but you're not sure which one works better for you, or if mechanical switches aren't worth it altogether and you just go for membrane. Well, in this video, we're going to be showing you all of that and more, coming at you right now. Okay guys, so it is currently, what time is it? It is currently 7:47 p.m. on the 22nd of June, I believe, and that just gives you a reference of how I record like a week and a half around before I post my videos. Anyways, it's not important. It's raining outside, so it's pretty depressing, and we're going to be comparing all four of the Outemu switches, including reds, blues, blacks, and browns. Of course, we couldn't forget the membrane comparison in case if you want to decide between mechanical and membrane, just as a general idea, and then you can get more into the specific switches. Make sure you guys stick around for my future channel plans. Last video I actually didn't get to finish talking about what I wanted to, so hopefully this time I can have a little bit more of a conversation. You know what to do if you like the video, all that good stuff. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. Okay guys, so it is properly storming now outside. Very depressing, but anyways, you're probably gonna hear some thunder. Either way, it's part of the video. But I want to say these switches are from my Outemu keyboard, which has Outemu blues in it. It's the Red Dragon K580 Vata. We can always plug it in the top right hand corner of the screen. Go check it out there. But this box that came with my keyboard happens to have 2 reds, 2 blacks, 2 browns, and 2 blues. That was very hard to say. But yeah, you get a little bit so you can compare the different key switches, and that's what we're going to be basically doing in this video, plus a quick comparison to a Corsair membrane keyboard for you. Now, Outemu is known to have cheaper sort of key switches compared to like Cherry MX switches, for example. And that is kind of true because they have shorter switch life and they're probably also slightly less consistent in the manufacturing quality. But overall, you're gonna see how these mechanical switches are definitely great options for budget users. Okay, I should also quickly mention that my keyboard, the K580 Vata, and the keyboard that's membrane that I'm comparing all these switches to is K55 from Corsair. These will both be in the description of the video, along with links to the different key switches that we're going to be comparing. So if you want to buy any of those things from Amazon or whatever, make sure to go check the description of the video. Now, either you hate them or you love them and cherish them every single day of the week. That is the very friendly blue switches. These are what came as default on my keyboard from Red Dragon, and I personally like them. People in my family don't exactly agree. Now, before I get into all that, I should probably mention that all these switches from Outemu are all hot swappable switches, so you can just pop them in and out of your keyboard. That's what I'm going to be doing, so you guys can hear a quick test for what they kind of look and sound like in the keyboard. And I'll give you guys a quick sound test of what they sound like without the keycaps on and with the keycaps on, along with all the stats for the keys on the screen. So the thing about these switches is the sound. These are going to be the loudest out of all the group that you're going to find here from Outemu because they're specifically meant to be. Now, they're also tactile, but they're mainly clicky because combining those, you get a lot of feel going on whenever you're typing. So the good thing is people tend to say it's a little bit more accurate, so you can pinpoint exactly when you're typing, so you know when to stop, because you get the feedback really easily. So maybe it's a little bit less strenuous because you don't have to like jam the key down all the way to know that you fully pressed it. With the blues, I know that it's really good for that, but obviously people in environments that would have more people in them, multiple people in a room or work environment, definitely tend to not like them. So there's a love-hate relationship going on between the community for sure. But let's move on to the next switch. So with the black switches, you can see that right here we got one. I don't have no idea if you guys can actually see that in the camera. It's probably pretty far away. But with the black switches, you get a very linear option of switch. You can get a little sound test right here. Now these kind of switches are definitely a lot different compared to the sort of blue switches that we just talked about, in the fact that they are completely linear, so no tactility going on there, and you'll see the same sort of thing going on with reds. But the difference between blacks and reds are that they are way heavier to press compared to these. Now 60 grams doesn't sound like a lot, but for every single key switch you're pressing, 60 grams is about 10 grams more than most of the key switches are in this lineup, or 10 or 15 grams more. So that ends up being a lot for your fingers. You can definitely feel the difference. But yes, blacks are going to be more for people who want to like maybe train their fingers to be stronger, or if they just have heavy hands, things like that. The interesting here that comes with red switches now, again, one of the switches right there, is it's really similar to blacks, but at the same time quite different. Now, in the sort of idea of them being linear, they're the exact same. Here's a quick sound test. So, as per usual, yes, the reds are going to be like the blacks in the fact that they're both linear, but they're way lighter to press than the blacks. Now, most typists prefer these reds because they're just very simple to type on. There's no tactility going on, so it's just a very flat-out nice key. It's very nice to press, people think. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to pinpoint exactly when the key's been activated. It activates around somewhere in between when it actually goes all the way down, so you don't always know, and people end up overstraining their hands by pushing the key all the way down into the keyboard, which always isn't necessary from a red switch. It just kind of depends on how you use the key switches, of course. Now there's only one switch left, and that is the browns, so why not hop into it? And finally comes the browns, and a lot of people like to call them the switch that's the gateway between a sort of red switch and a blue switch, when they're really just their own sort of switch. There's all kind of unique switches out there, and this is just another one of them. And so you can have your quick sound test and the features right here. So browns are basically like the switch that is the quiet version of a blue. Now you still get that awesome tactility that you like, so you know exactly when you press the key switches, and you can end up being able to basically know every time when you type, whenever you press the key switch. So this can be good for gaming. It just depends on whatever you're using it for. If you want to know that you're not overstraining your hands, it's good to know exactly when the key is pressed, so you don't have to keep on going farther than the actual actuation point. And this is the good thing about browns, because you know exactly, just like blues, when the key is actually pressed, and you don't have to actually go all the way down, of course. And again, like the reds and the black, again like the reds and I believe the blacks too, these are quiet switches whenever you press them normally, but if you press them hard enough, they can become loud switches, especially with the keycap on top of it. So now this is the big question. You've seen some membrane, you've seen all the Outemu switches. Now which one is exactly better for you? Which one is going to be more worth it for your budget and for your needs? Well, here we go. Membrane is definitely quite a different experience from mechanical, not in quite a good way though, exactly. So if we look on the Corsair K55, which everything including this keyboard, my keyboard, and all the switches should be in the video description. Make sure you guys check them out in case if you're interested in buying any of those things. But on the Corsair membrane version keyboard, we have to look into the membrane, because how it works is the lifetime of membrane switches are far less than even an Outemu switch, which is only 50 million clicks compared to like twice as much from a cherry switch. But either way, that doesn't change the fact that membrane switches don't last nearly as long, because you'll notice on your keyboard that a spacebar and an enter key and your delete key, which you use more often than some number keys and letter keys, you'll find that those tend to wear down faster, and you end up getting like different amounts of like force that's required to push down on different keys, and people end up calling that a mushy sort of feeling because it's inconsistent and the different keys tend to feel different. There's really no travel distance at all, so it's kind of not as pleasant of an experience at all compared to a membrane switch. I mean, compared to a mechanical switch. What am I saying? Anyways, now you guys can have a comparison between all the switches at once and to a little membrane comparison for all of them as well. And now that you've heard all of that, make sure to go check out the description. Again, this video is completely based on your opinion, so make sure you base it off of what you've seen so far. And now let's just quickly get into what I plan on doing with my channel future now. So before I get into the new channel direction a ton, I want to tell you, because this is probably the end of the video for some of you that aren't any big fan of my channel, check out a video right there if you want to see what's next for you on the watch list from my channel. And yeah, if you want to just decide, make sure you look at every single switch again from the video to make sure you know which one's right for you, or if you just want to go with membrane. Again, this is more user based. I can't really give you my specific opinion on this. However, if you do want a quick little opinion from me, I would look into getting mechanical switches no matter what. Don't worry about it, just go for mechanical, so much easier. Anyways, let's go into it. Okay, so I actually have time to talk with you guys about this for a little bit in this video, and it also helps make the video a little bit longer. You know, not saying that I need that for SEO or anything, definitely not. Anyways, yes, I want to talk to you about my channel future. It's getting quite complicated, and every single day I seem to change my plans between this and that. I was supposed to talk about how I really want to make a second channel, but recently I've been thinking, well, maybe I want to stick with this channel. It's a little bit complicated, and maybe I have a plan to end up doing the second channel. Let me just explain quickly. So basically, lately I've been trying out all these tech reviews, right? And it's kind of, in my opinion, gonna end up being the same thing if I don't start mixing it up like I said in the last video. So I really gotta start looking into what I want to do next to end up making my own little flavor of my part on YouTube here. And hopefully that can end up obviously helping me with a little bit of success. But I want to say that my second channel coming along is a thing that I'm really struggling to decide if I want to have it happen or if I'm going to push it off to the future. It's probably going to happen eventually. I'm just not sure if I want to do it right away. So there's two things I could do here. I'm either planning on, starting off by introducing some new videos on this channel and then getting into a second channel, or just hopping onto that one and seeing how it goes. Now, here's what I'm talking about with new videos, because I know a lot of you got confused by what I meant in the last video. So with new videos, I'm not just talking about gaming videos. I don't know if I'm going to do a ton of gaming videos on this channel or even in the new channel that I make eventually. I'm more thinking like actual challenges, not just gaming challenges, but real life ones. I want to kind of do sort of challenges where people can win things, kind of make it fun, do some sort of like fun unboxing or some tech gear thing all together, like my own little corner of tech, but brought to the next little level to make it more entertaining and make it a little bit more just fun and involve some of my friends. Obviously we can't have everyone because it's in quarantine right now. I'm really just going to be ranting for the next couple of minutes anyway. I don't really know. It's complicated for sure. I'm maybe going to start off by putting a couple of tech challenges, not gaming challenges. Again, I'm not sure how long it'll be before I look into gaming, and that would most likely be on the other channel. But I could start off by maybe trying to do one of these tech challenges where my friends, compete for something and I give them tech or like a budget for tech. I don't really know yet, but if something like that ends up working out, either way I'll probably move on to the second channel, or maybe I'll stay here if it really ends up working out. But I think the other thing I wanted to say was doing a second channel with this kind of stuff ends up giving me a lot more freedom, because with this channel it is basically solely for tech, and I know some of you want to tell me, oh well, you can keep it all on the same channel. Guess what, my friend? That's not how YouTube works. Everyone's not going to watch my videos if I'm making about tech video one day and a challenge video another day that's completely different from tech. If it's a tech challenge, maybe it'll work out. But it's not going to work out like that. So the easier thing with the second channel would be I don't have to rebrand, because I would have to rebrand if I want to do that on this channel, or on this channel I would only be stuck to tech challenges, which doesn't give me a ton of creativity. But with the second channel, I'm thinking I can get a fresh start with my new knowledge that I've gained from this channel. Obviously I might continue posting on here as well, or I'll even do both at the same time, I'm not sure. But with the second channel, it allows me to use all of these ideas that aren't even tech-based challenges as well, because I have a ton of different ideas, but I'll probably have to cut like 70% of them out if I just focus on the tech ones, which makes my life a little bit harder and gives me a little bit less creativity in the workplace, which is right behind me, because this is where I spend a lot of my time these days, trying to get the best content for you guys. Either way, it's very complicated. I've been talking for several minutes now. I'm really glad I've been able to do this, though. It's good to get all this out. Make sure to go check out my Instagram, because I'm probably going to be doing an early sort of release on this video. Make sure you guys check it out, because you're going to get new updates, new stuff all the time on Instagram and my other platforms that I'll probably be releasing in the future. So make sure not to miss out on them, and not to miss out on my channel, of course. Let's go to the outro. Okay guys, yes, this is the end of the video. Finally, we made it. I was gonna say that this is supposed to be a shorter video, but because of my rant, it's probably over 10 minutes by now. I mean, hey, gotta get that 10-minute mark, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, I hope you've enjoyed. You know what to do if you like the video. Make sure to subscribe as well if you want to see where my channel ends up going next. I'll keep you guys updated. Keep watching, keep staying out there. I don't know what I'm saying. This is a bad outro. Peace.